Hello and welcome back to Senior Health Over 60, your trusted space for easy-to-understand, compassionate, and practical health insights, designed especially for seniors right here in the United States. If you're over 60 or caring for a loved one who is, you're exactly where you need to be. Because here, we talk about what really matters, staying strong, sleeping well, and feeling your best as you age with wisdom. Let me ask you something. Have you ever gone to bed at a reasonable hour, lights off, house quiet, body tired, yet still woke up groggy, sore, or dizzy in the morning? It might surprise you to learn that the problem may not be your age, your mattress, or even your medications. The real issue might be in your kitchen. Yes, some of the most common nighttime snacks could be silently disturbing your rest, your heart, and your brain without you even realizing it. In today's video, we're going to uncover 8 foods that seniors over 65 should never eat before bed. These may seem harmless, even healthy, but for the aging body, they can trigger acid reflux, blood pressure spikes, irregular heart rhythms, and more. In fact, one of these foods has been linked to heart attacks during sleep. Sounds scary? Maybe. But is it true? Today, we're not here to scare you. We're here to get to the truth with science-backed explanations and stories that bring each point to life. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with a fellow senior or caregiver, and subscribe to Senior Health Over 60. Your support helps us keep creating high-quality, heart-centered content just for you, every single week. Now let's take a closer look at the surprising foods that might be sabotaging your sleep, and what you can do instead to protect your rest, your heart, and your peace of mind. Part 1. Foods that disrupt digestion and trigger acid reflux. Let's start with something that catches a lot of people by surprise, especially those who have always considered themselves to have a strong stomach. Spicy foods. They're flavorful, exciting, and for many of us, comforting. A little kick of heat after dinner might be part of your routine. But what your taste buds enjoy, your digestive system may not, especially after age 65. Let me tell you about Mr. Thompson. He's 82, full of life and proud of his homemade curry recipe. Every night he'd serve himself a small bowl, extra chili, just the way he liked it, then off to bed. But soon after, things changed. He began waking up with tightness in his chest. At first, he brushed it off as stress or just getting older. But when the discomfort grew sharper and more frequent, he got concerned. Turns out it wasn't his heart, it was acid reflux. As we age, the muscle that separates the stomach from the esophagus, the lower esophageal sphincter, weakens. That means stomach acid can easily creep upward when we lie down. And spicy foods, they're like lighting a match inside your gut. They aggravate everything, causing burning, coughing, and even chest pressure that mimics a heart attack. No wonder so many older adults end up in the ER at night thinking they're having cardiac trouble when it's really their dinner fighting back. Now, spicy food doesn't have to be off limits forever, but timing is key. Avoid hot chili, curries, and heavily spiced dishes at least 3 hours before bed. This gives your body time to digest while you're still upright. And if you still crave flavor, opt for gentler herbs like parsley or basil, much kinder on the stomach. Another surprise culprit, citrus fruits. You might think a fresh orange or slice of pineapple after dinner is the perfect healthy treat. But for seniors prone to reflux, these highly acidic fruits can backfire. James, a retired teacher and daily walker, loved his evening routine, an orange and the nightly news. But over time, he began waking up bloated, coughing, and with a strange burning in his throat. Only after he skipped the citrus for a few nights did he realize the connection. Just like spicy foods, citrus increases stomach acidity, and with a weakened sphincter, that acid travels where it shouldn't. The result? Heartburn, disrupted sleep, and sometimes even shortness of breath during the night. So what should you reach for instead? Consider a banana. It's naturally soothing, rich in potassium and magnesium, and gentle on the stomach. Or try a few slices of pear, mild, low acid, and just sweet enough to satisfy a nighttime craving without disturbing your rest. Because here's the truth, when your digestion is calm, your sleep is calm. And that's the foundation for healing, restoring, and waking up ready for a better day. Part 2. Foods that disrupt REM and deep sleep. Now that we've looked at what stirs up your stomach, let's talk about what stirs up your brain, especially the part that controls sleep. Because even if you fall asleep easily, staying asleep and reaching those deep, healing stages, particularly REM sleep, is where the real restoration happens. And some of our most beloved snacks are quietly keeping us from getting there. Let's start with something sweet. For Helen, it was just a small pleasure, her little nightly routine. After dinner, she'd settle into her chair with a slice of peach cobbler, just one. It helped her feel calm, like she was rewarding herself for making it through another day. But then came the restless nights, vivid, strange dreams. Waking up drenched in sweat, feeling like her body never truly rested, she blamed stress. Her daughter suggested a new pillow, but no one thought to question the dessert. The truth is, sugar before bed is sneaky. It gives you that quick comfort, then sends your blood sugar spiking, just when your body should be winding down. That spike triggers insulin, which sends your heart rate up and your brain into overdrive. Instead of sinking into deep sleep, your body is confused. It thinks something exciting is about to happen. Your sleep becomes lighter, more fragmented, and less refreshing. And over time, the damage adds up. Nighttime sugar spikes have been linked to inflammation, irregular heart rhythms, and higher blood pressure, all of which are especially risky for older adults. So what can you have instead? A cup of unsweetened chamomile tea, or a banana, rich in magnesium and potassium. These don't just satisfy your sweet tooth, they help relax your muscles and support more restful sleep. But sugar isn't the only culprit when it comes to REM disruption. Let's talk about aged cheese. Yes, that sharp cheddar or slice of Gouda may seem like a cozy bedtime snack. But aged cheeses contain tyramine, a compound that increases brain activity and releases norepinephrine, a hormone that stimulates alertness. Not exactly what you want when you're trying to drift off. I remember one patient, Martha. Every night around 9:00, she'd have a few crackers with blue cheese. Harmless, right? Except that afterward she'd have bizarre dreams. Not nightmares, but intense, vivid dreams that left her feeling exhausted in the morning. Turns out it wasn't stress, it was the cheese. If you love dairy before bed, there are better options. A small portion of low-fat Greek yogurt or warm milk can do wonders. They contain tryptophan, an amino acid that actually promotes drowsiness. And finally, let's not forget about those heavy protein shakes or meals. George was in his 70s and dedicated to staying strong. He'd read that seniors need more protein, so every night before bed, he blended a shake with protein powder, almond butter, and milk. He thought it was helping his muscles recover overnight, but instead he felt full, bloated, and wired. He'd wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. sweating, sometimes needing to use the bathroom. The problem: protein takes a long time to digest, especially in large amounts. And when your body is supposed to be resting, that heavy digestive work keeps everything on high alert. Studies show that late-night protein loads can reduce REM sleep, leaving you groggy and unfocused the next day. For older adults with already slower digestion, this is even more pronounced. So what's the better move? Front-load your protein earlier in the day. Breakfast and lunch are your best bets. Then, in the evening, choose something light. Maybe a few steamed vegetables, a little oatmeal, or calming tea. Let your body rest, not wrestle with digestion. Because better sleep isn't just about how many hours you log, it's about how deeply you rest. And what you eat at night makes all the difference. Part 3. Foods that stress the heart while you sleep. Let's talk about the one system in your body that never gets a break: your heart. Even when you're sleeping, your heart is working to pump blood, manage pressure, and support healing throughout the night. And for older adults, that balance becomes more delicate. So what you eat right before bed can either support that process or silently put your heart under stress. One of the worst offenders, processed meats. I'm talking about bacon, pepperoni, sausage, deli ham. They might seem like just a quick bite, but they come with a heavy load, sodium and saturated fat. And together, those are a dangerous combination at night. Let me share a story. Mr. Randall was 73, active and alert, but kept waking up in the early morning hours with pressure in his chest. Not pain exactly, but something was off. After weeks of tests, heart, lungs, sleep studies, everything looked normal. But in one casual conversation, he mentioned his evening ritual, a small plate of crackers with bacon or salami around 9:30 every night. That was the missing puzzle piece. Processed meats cause your body to retain water, which increases blood volume and makes your heart work harder. The saturated fat thickens your blood, slowing circulation. Combine that with the natural dip in heart rate during sleep, and you've created a perfect storm. High blood pressure and poor blood flow, right when your body should be recovering. This is exactly why some studies have linked processed meats to increased risk of nighttime heart attacks, especially in older adults. And here's the tricky part. Even small portions can be enough to trigger the problem if eaten regularly and close to bedtime. So what can you do? If you like a little protein at night, there are better options. Try a few slices of low-sodium turkey. It's lean, easier to digest, and even contains tryptophan to help you relax. Or a small handful of unsalted nuts, a source of healthy fats and magnesium that support your heart and calm your nervous system. Now let's talk about something even more deceptive: alcohol. It's easy to believe that a small glass of wine at night is harmless or even helpful. After all, it feels relaxing. It helps you fall asleep faster. Right, that's exactly what Mildred thought. Every night she'd sip a small glass of red wine before bed. It was her moment of peace, a way to wind down. But soon, she started waking up groggy, disoriented, and occasionally forgetting small things, like what day it was or where she left her keys. Her daughter noticed. So did her doctor, and eventually the wine came up in conversation. The truth is, alcohol sedates you, but it doesn't help you sleep. It suppresses REM sleep, fragments your rest, and increases the chances you'll wake up throughout the night. For older adults, it's even worse, because your liver processes alcohol more slowly, meaning that glass of wine might still be affecting your brain and body well into the early morning hours. Not only does alcohol disrupt sleep, it also raises nighttime blood pressure, increases dehydration, and can even cause nocturnal confusion or balance issues, which are especially dangerous for seniors. So what's a better choice? Skip alcohol after 6:00 p.m. or avoid it altogether if sleep is your priority. Instead, reach for a warm herbal tea like chamomile, lemon balm, or lavender. Or choose a small magnesium-rich snack like almonds or a banana. These support the body's natural sleep rhythm without taxing your heart or your memory. Because at the end of the day, your heart deserves rest too. And that rest begins with what you do and put on your plate before bedtime. Part 4. The sneaky sleep disruptors that fool us. Some bedtime habits feel innocent, even comforting. A warm drink, a piece of fruit, something light to end the day. But not everything that feels right actually is, especially as we age. Let's begin with a surprising one: caffeine. Now, you probably already know not to drink coffee at 9 p.m., but what about 6:00 p.m., or what if it's decaf? That's what Margaret thought too. She's 75 and sharp as a tack. Her evening routine always included a cozy cup of coffee around 6. Sometimes she'd even switch to decaf, thinking it was completely safe. But then the nights became restless. She'd lie in bed for hours, her mind racing, heart gently thudding, wide awake even though her body was tired. Lavender oil didn't help. Gentle music didn't help. Eventually, it became clear. Even that harmless evening cup was still affecting her hours later. You see, caffeine doesn't just disappear. It can stay in the bloodstream for 6 to 8 hours, and in seniors, it lingers even longer due to slower metabolism. That's why a cup of coffee at dinner might still be keeping your brain buzzing long past midnight. And here's something even sneakier. Decaf isn't actually caffeine-free. It still contains trace amounts, enough to matter if your body is sensitive, especially with regular use. The simple solution: cut off all sources of caffeine. Coffee, tea, dark chocolate, even cola by 2:00 p.m. And if you love the comfort of a warm drink at night, swap it for valerian root tea, lemon balm, or warm oat milk. These promote calm without waking up your nervous system. Now let's talk about fruit. Fruit is healthy, right? Of course it is, but timing matters. Citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, or pineapples are incredibly acidic. And for someone over 65, who might already be dealing with reflux or a weaker esophageal valve, these healthy snacks can quietly cause major nighttime discomfort. Take James, for example. He prided himself on his clean eating. Every evening, he peeled an orange while watching the news. But within hours, he'd wake up coughing, bloated, and feeling like acid was climbing up his throat. It took time, but eventually he realized it wasn't the pasta from dinner or stress. It was the orange. The acidity was triggering reflux after he laid down, disrupting his sleep and irritating his throat. So what's better? Try a banana, naturally low in acid, rich in calming nutrients, or a few slices of pear, which are gentle on digestion. These provide the sweetness you crave without waking up your gut or your brain in the middle of the night. Sometimes it's not the bold, spicy, or heavy foods that hurt us. It's the quiet, sneaky ones that seem healthy, but don't match the unique needs of an aging body. And now that we've covered them, you're one step closer to a better night's rest. Closing section: reflect, reclaim, and rest well. So now that we've walked through each one of these nighttime food culprits, what's the real takeaway? It's this: the foods we choose before bed can either set us up for a night of peaceful, healing rest, or quietly rob us of it. Spicy dinners, sugary desserts, salty meats, a casual drink, a piece of cheese, or even a healthy orange. None of these are bad in isolation. But for adults over 65, timing, portion, and sensitivity matter more than ever. Our bodies change. What we once tolerated without issue can now trigger restless sleep, racing hearts, or foggy mornings. And the consequences of poor sleep go far beyond feeling tired. Night after night, the effects add up, impacting memory, balance, heart health, and overall vitality. But here's the beautiful part: change is within reach. It doesn't take a complete lifestyle overhaul, just small, thoughtful swaps. A banana instead of a cookie, chamomile tea instead of wine, a lighter meal instead of a late-night protein shake. These little shifts add up, because when you sleep better, you wake up clearer. When you wake up clearer, your day becomes safer, steadier, and more joyful. And that is what you deserve, not just occasionally, but every single night. And remember, growing older doesn't mean losing control. It means gaining wisdom, understanding your body more deeply, and learning to give it what it truly needs. So tonight, before you reach into that fridge, ask yourself, will this help me heal or make my heart work harder? And then choose with love for yourself, for your future, and for the rest you've more than earned. Before you go, if this video brought you clarity, insight, or even just a sense of comfort, please like it, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Senior Health Over 60. Together, we're building a community where aging is honored, supported, and empowered. And you, my friend, are a vital part of that. Thanks for spending this time with me. Until next time, sleep well, stay strong, and stay wise.